Welcome to the Mafia Sports Report. I am Tommy. Please like, subscribe, hit that notification bell because I always forget to tell you. Bills Mafia, we have some breaking news as about, 10 minutes ago? I was about to take my nap because I got work tonight and I'm an old man. Well, I'm starting to become an old man. But breaking news hit right when I was about to take my nap, and that is Amari Cooper has been traded to the Buffalo Bills. Yes. Finally, Brandon Beane went outside his comfort zone and made a deal happen. Amari Cooper is now a Buffalo Bill. That is right. Amari Cooper now is a Buffalo Bill. What the Cleveland Browns received was a third round and a seventh round draft pick. The Bills get Amari Cooper and a 2025 sixth round pick. Also, the money's great. Cooper's only costing this team a little under $1 million for the season. Now, it's a loaner in a way because Cooper is this is his last year on his contract. I would think that Beane would give him some type of extension because giving up a third round player, for only 1 year as a loaner is a bit steep. If that's if that's what his plan is. So I don't think that's the case. I think that Beane is going to probably give him an extension to make this trade make more sense. But man, right now I'm excited about it. I'm sure they'll get that deal done, and I'm sure you guys, Bills Mafia, you have to be happy. And yeah, Sophia, Beane was listening because I just did a video. And by the way, I apologize about the video. I forgot to plug my Ethernet cord in, and I rewatched my video, and it got choppy at times. So once again, I apologize, but still worth watching. If you guys haven't watched my last video, which I just did this morning, go ahead and watch that. But yeah, we're here now. And my God, guys, I'm excited. And this is a deal that had to get done. Brandon Beane had to make this deal done. Like I said, if he really truly believed that this team had any type of chance this season, he had to get some help for Josh Allen. And he went ahead and did that. Amari Cooper, listen, guys, I get he's 30 years old, but he's still playing at a pretty high level. We didn't have to overpay for Devontae Adams. By the way, if y'all don't know, now you know. Adams was traded to the New Jersey Jets. I apologize. And the Jets are eating that whole contract. Listen, Adams is a good player, and I would have loved him here. But I wouldn't have been happy with eating all that contract. And the Bills, believe me, they were probably in talks with the Raiders to acquire Adams, but they weren't going to take on that contract. And I don't blame Beane at all for not making that deal for Adams because of the contract. The contract was just too steep. But he also, at the same time, needed to get a deal done. And I said in my video I just did this morning, I don't care who it is, right? Out of all the players I named, DK Metcalf, Cooper, Kupp, there's players out there, Sutton, but he needed to bring somebody in here that can help out Josh Allen in this offense, other than what we have currently on the roster in that wide receiver room. And he did just that. And I'm glad that he did because, listen, man, I was super nervous that Brandon Beane was going to stay on Safe Street, right? He's lived on Safe Street for a while, him and McDermott. And sometimes, man, listen, I understand that Brandon Beane, right, wanted to stay the course. But sometimes shit happens. And sometimes you hit a speed bump. And sometimes you have to take a detour because the course ain't working, right? Or something is going wrong. And you got to take a detour. And I'm glad he took a detour today and made a bold move, at least bold for Brandon Beane. And he brought in a playmaker for this offense. Listen, by the way, I'm not saying this is like going to, get us to a Super Bowl, but this is going to help. All right, let's get to some of your comments. I think Cooper is washed up. Most drops in the league. This looks like a desperate move. Raven, I don't think so, bro. I get what you're saying, but Cooper, listen, look at the roster we have. Look at the current wide receiver group that we have right now. This is a major upgrade. And I know you're a Ravens fan, and I respect you. You always come on here and you show me respect too. But I watch my team very closely, and I know what we have in this wide receiver room. And Khalil Shakir, for as good as he is, he can't do it all for this wide receiver room. And the facts are the facts. Curtis Samuel was an off-season signing that has gone wrong because he is, hurt right now with a turf toe. And I also think Joe Brady, for some reasons, maybe that has something to do with it, or maybe Joe Brady's not scheming it up right, correct for him. I'm not sure what the deal was with that. MVS was a terrible signing. Matt Collins doesn't do anything. And Keon Coleman's still growing as a wide receiver. We needed that veteran. We needed a veteran receiver in the wide receiver group, in my opinion. One that at least is accomplished and has done something in the NFL and can still do something in the NFL. And what I mean about extending Cooper, I'm not saying 5-year deal. I would say, give him a 3-year deal with maybe a way out in the 3rd year. That's all. You don't want him here as just a loaner. No, don't be jealous of the Bills. I think this is a great move, by the way. 1-year rental. And by the way, even if it is a 1-year rental, it's not the end. I guess I'm kind of cool with that, but it's a 3rd-round draft pick. I would think Brandon Beane will probably see how Cooper does for this season, and then weigh in on if he's going to go ahead and extend Amari Cooper, give him maybe a 1 or 2 more year deal to stay in Buffalo. Just throwing that out there. I don't know if he does it right away, but it's possible he sees how Cooper does with the Buffalo Bills. And by the way, too, I got to say, Cooper's been playing with the fucking Cleveland Browns. Raven for life. It's not like he has a lot of drops, but he hasn't had the best quarterbacks and the best environment right now in Cleveland. Cleveland's a hot mess, and this is a fresh start for Cooper. I mean, if you look at Cooper, his career, is really good. 2015, 1,000 yards, rookie year. Let's see here. 2016, 1,100. 2017, 680. Then I think he got hurt in 2018. He had 280. Dallas, 725. He only played half season. 2019, almost 1,200 yards with Dallas. 1,100 yards in 2020 with Dallas. 865 in 2021. And then went to Cleveland, and he had really 1,100 yards in 2022. 1,160. 1,250 in 2023. Mind you, what the Cleveland Browns had at quarterback and what was going on there in Cleveland. Just a hot mess. Coaches being fired, all that crap. And he still did 1,160, 1,250. And this year so far, 250. Yeah, it's a little bit of down year, but come on, man. Are you watching Cleveland Browns football? You see how bad of an organization that is? You see the hot mess they have at quarterback? This is a fresh start for Cooper. And he got out of a bad situation in Cleveland. And he's better than, I would say, any of our receivers currently on the roster. Now, when Shakir gets healthy, we'll see how that plays out. But this is a great addition, honestly. And it's an affordable addition, in my opinion. Roy, if Cooper plays well enough and hits free agency next year, that could give us some comp pick for 2026. We'll see what happens with Cooper. Like I said, I think if Cooper and Allen have a good connection this season, let's say Cooper comes in and they have a connection right away, like the Diggs-Allen connection. I'm just throwing that out there. It's very possible that Brandon Beane gives him another year or two to stay in Buffalo. Just throwing that out there. It's very possible. And there's my dog, Princess. She wants to know what's going on. Let's see here. I'm trying to get to all your comments. Donnie Brook, he's not a downfield threat. He's a bigger body, excellent route runner. He is every bit as good as Diggs. Yeah, and listen, right now, what do we need the most? We need a player that can separate. We need a good route runner. And that's exactly what Amari Cooper does. That's what he brings to the table. And that's what the Bills have been missing. We need like a receiver that can get separation early in his routes, especially when things are breaking down. Cooper is very, very reliable. For anyone that's saying that this is Cooper's washed up 30 drops, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. You all see where he's been playing. You all see the numbers that he's throwing up. I mean, I just read them to you. Last year, 1250. The year before, 1160. Those are very good numbers, right? Especially what we're looking at currently on this Buffalo Bills roster. I told you guys the stats, what we have currently. 249 Shakir, Kincaid 217, Coleman 201, Cook 123, Curtis Sam 192, Hollins 81, Ray Davis 73, Ty Johnson 61, Dawson Knox 42, MVS 26. Those are horrendous numbers. Our running backs are doing better than MVS, Dawson Knox. I mean, come on, man. Come on now. When Mac Hollins is your second option, there's a problem. And I think Brandon Beane finally realized it was a problem. So I'm glad that Brandon Beane got out of his comfort zone and went ahead and made this move today. It had to be done. And listen, at the end of the day, I didn't really care who he brung in, as long as he brung in a receiver who was reliable, a receiver that Josh can actually trust upon. That's all I wanted. And I think that's all Josh wanted. And I'm happy with it. I don't know about you guys. I'm going to go through your comments here. Riley K, what are your projected compensation picks for next draft? Am I interested? Misremembering, or is one projected to be a third replace? I think we're getting I'm not so sure. I know we're getting a second from Minnesota, but it's a third round. Once again, it's a third round. We're also getting back a sixth round. We're giving up a third and a seventh. It's not the end of the world. Once again, I think a lot of people, including Brandon Beane, really like stress these draft picks. Like, we gotta, oh my God, we have like 11 or 12 draft picks next year. I could be wrong on the numbers, either 10 or 11. Man, I'm not sure. I gotta go back. But we have a shitload. We have a lot. And it's okay to give one or two up to make your team better. And knowing Brandon Beane, he makes some moves in the draft and acquires more draft picks. He does it constantly. So don't get stressed out that we're, third round draft pick. Listen, right now we're in the now, right? We're in the now. Stop looking so far ahead in the future. We're going into week 7. We're 4-2, and we need fucking help. It's okay to give up a third round draft pick for a player in the draft that you have no idea what you're getting. At least I know right now what Cooper brings to the table, what he can provide for this team this season. And I'm willing to give that chance. I'm willing to take that roll of the dice chance on a third round draft pick for a guy that can right now help out this team, which we desperately need. And anyone that says anything different, I don't know what to tell you, because now you're always constantly looking ahead, and we've gotten nowhere with that mindset. And listen, I get Brandon Beane, he has a vision. He wants to stay on course. He wants to do things a certain way. But today, he finally understands, or at least he woke up and realized, I can't keep staying the course because sometimes shit happens. Sometimes players get hurt, right? Not sometimes, a lot of the times, at least for our case. And sometimes players I sign in free agency don't always work out. And now I got to take a little detour. And I got to go outside my comfort zone. And I got to make a deal happen. And today he made that deal happen. And I think it's a good deal. And nobody can sit back and be like, oh, man, we're overpaying for this guy. No, pretty cheap deal, guys. Pretty cheap deal. It's like a veteran deal, right? Cooper also protects you if Shakir gets hurt again. And Philip, Shakir ain't, listen, I'm going to tell you all right now. It's a high ankle sprain. Khalil Shakir, even the coach said it. He just was out there last night to help the team. He's not even close to being 100%. He probably was at 50% last night, Philip. Khalil Shakir may not even get back to 100% this season. Those high ankle sprains last a long time, especially for a receiver or running back that do cuts. So we're lucky if we get 70% back of what Khalil Shakir was to start the season. But now that you got Cooper, you don't have to always rely on Khalil Shakir to be the guy. You know what I'm saying? So I'm happy with it. I am totally good with this trade. Totally good with the trade. Cammy Poo. Cooper's going to open up the field for everyone, plus a third, and what it's going to cost. Yeah, exactly. It's a great deal. It is. Defensive coordinators now have to respect what the Buffalo Bills are bringing to the table on offense. They have to, right? You got Amari Cooper, who's a proven wide receiver in the NFL. Proven. I went through the numbers, okay? The guy is a good receiver. Yeah, he's on the other side of 30. I get it. But look at last year, right? Look at the year before. He's putting up numbers still. Okay, don't get so caught up in age, guys. He's still a guy that now defense coordinators have to go, okay, you know what? Now they got Cooper. Now we got a little problem here, right? We got to watch this guy. Now this helps out Keon Coleman better. This helps out Khalil Shakir better. This helps Alton Kike better. This helps Curtis Samuel. Of course it does. You'd be lying if it didn't. Right now, defensive coordinators are not scared of the Bills wide receivers. Not at all. Especially now that Khalil Shakir is not 100%. This was an addition that had to be done. We had to get a deal done, or this season was going to be a total waste. And I'm not saying that, oh, now we got Cooper. This is Super Bowl bound. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying this does provide a spark to a dead offense. And you all saw last night, we had a little spark from Ray Davis. I truly believe that, and I'm hoping that Joe Brady is going to now use Cook and Davis the correct way. And I know y'all love Cook, and I think Cook is a good running back, but I think they both bring something different to the table. And you have to use Ray Davis more. You have to have a two-headed monster on this offense. And I think it would work. And now with the addition of Cooper, now this offense might get going. All right, let's get to some of your comments. I saw my main man, Callie Blitz was here. Yeah, there he is. There he is. Anything we'll do with this shit show exactly. Thank you, Callie Blitz. Exactly. I told you guys, I read a list of wide receivers that were possibly available for trade. And Cooper obviously was on that list. And any of the receivers I read off that list would have done way better than what we have currently. Way better. We have an XFL wide receiver group minus Shakir, right? Other than that, and I'm not saying, listen, Kincaid is a tight end, all right? I'm talking about the wide receivers right now. And I love Keon Coleman. I think Keon Coleman can develop into something special, but I don't know if it's going to happen right away. You got to be a little patient with Keon Coleman. And by the way, everyone's talking about this fucking Worthy thing. Do you know, and I was wrong last night when I read the stats. I was wrong earlier on in my video. Keon Coleman has more receiving yards than Worthy right now. The only thing Worthy has over Keon Coleman right now is 42 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns rushing. He has 4 total touchdowns. Keon Coleman has 2. But Keon Coleman has more receiving yards. So, come on, man. Come on. Stop with the whole we missed out on Worthy. Worthy's okay. He's a speedster. Okay, great. He also went to a team where Andy Reid knows how to dial it up for players like that. But he's not outshining or outclassing Keon Coleman at all. So I don't want to hear that, all right, anymore. I don't want to hear it. I do like our running game. Yeah, Callie. It's starting to get going. Donnie Brook, we just need to get Bishop up to speed so we can put Hamlin on the bench. Yeah, I agree. I think Hamlin is starting to show his true colors out there, and he is just not a starting safety in the NFL. He's a great story. He's a great person, but he's not a starting safety in the NFL. I'm sorry, he's not. Cole Bishop, I believe will take over in time. I just don't know if it'll be this year. We'll see. I want that, but I don't know if McDermott will do it. McDermott is so stubborn, guys. He's so stubborn, and that scares me as well for him as a head coach, because he's stuck in his ways, man. This will help Kincaid, Dallas. Absolutely. You know who's going to help out the most? Josh Allen. Josh motherfucking Allen. It's going to help out the most, because now Josh Allen has a reliable target. Now Josh Allen has a receiver who actually can create separation early in his routes when things are breaking down, right? The only thing they need to do, and it's going to probably take a little time, is get on the same page, right? Josh Allen's going to have to earn that, he's going to have to earn Josh Allen's trust, all that. But I don't see a reason why he can't earn it pretty quick. He's a veteran. He's been around. He's been on multiple teams, right? There's no reason why Cooper can't quickly adjust. Matter of fact, if you go through Cooper's timeline, he went from Oakland to Dallas. So when he arrived in Dallas his first year, he only played half a year, pretty much 9 games, and he got 725. So that right there tells me he was clicking right away in Dallas, right? Then he goes the very next year, he stayed in Dallas. He had almost 1,200 yards. Then he had 1,100 the following, 865 in 2021. Then he goes to Cleveland, his very first year in 2022. And I believe, I could be wrong, but was Deshaun Watson playing for them in 2022 at that point, or was he still suspended? Either way, he had 1,160 his very first year in Cleveland. So that tells me right away that he has no problem going to a new team and catching on. So, and let's be real, Joe Brady's offensive playbook right now, I wouldn't say it probably isn't the hardest playbook in the world to learn. And I'm sure they're gonna, get him some certain plays early on, and then he'll dive more deeper into the playbook as the season goes on. But I'm not concerned about him fitting in right away. He should fit in right away. Michael, I think the way Brady uses MVS has a lot to do with his lack of production. I think MVS is terrible, Michael. I think it's bad. I think he's a bad receiver. It's the reason why he's been on multiple teams. Throughout his career, he has a terrible drop percentage. He's one of the worst in the NFL. And him and Allen right now they're not even close to being on the same page either. I just have not seen anything from MVS that tells me that was a good signing. It was a bad signing. It's a 1-year deal. It's not the end of the world, but he won't be back next year. Put it that way. Roy, Tommy, in your opinion, who gets cut to make the room for Cooper? Oh, that's a great question. God, that's a really good question. I honestly don't know. That is a great question. Me personally, my honest opinion, it would suck because they're going to eat the contract, but I would cut MVS. Absolutely. I wouldn't cut Matt Collins, because Matt Collins is a really good special team player and a good locker room guy. But if I were to have my choice, at least at the right receiver room, I think MVS is the one. I think he's the one that would need to go. But I don't know if they'll do it because they'll have to eat that contract. But what is he really doing for this team, right? And I don't know who else he would cut. So I mean, if you have somebody else that you want to throw out there that the Bills could possibly cut, let me know. But I right now, they're not cutting Dawson Knox, right? You know that. I mean, even on defense, I don't know. I don't see a player that they would outside of MVS that's so bad that they would cut right now, underperforming. I'm gonna say MVS, bro. I'm gonna go MVS, and I'll throw another thing out there, and I've been mentioning this. Why not call up Hamler, who is healthy, a 4.3 guy, super fast, a guy that is a former second-round pick. He's had flashes where you could see he could be effective on the field. Why not put Curtis Samuel on the IR? At least put him, away for 4 games. Let him heal up, because clearly he ain't right. and pull up Hamler as your gadget guy. Now you got that true speed in Hamler. Matter of fact, he could be the deep guy. He has that kind of speed. That's what I would do. So put Curtis Samuel on IR, call Hamler up, and you never know what you get out of him. What if Hamler winds up being really useful on this offense? All right, great. Now Curtis Samuel gets healthy. Now we're talking. But I don't know if they do that. But I would definitely do that, because Curtis Samuel right now is just not providing much with that injury. He's not. So call up Hamler, let him be your gadget guy, like a McKenzie role. He can do that. You all saw in preseason. We put him in running back, and the guy was going past everybody because he has that speed. That's what I would do. Shavers as well. Why not give Shavers an opportunity? Now, they called up Shavers one time, didn't even use him. They used Matt Collins the whole game. But you're right. Shavers is another guy they could call up. But I would prefer Hamler. And the reason why is, if you're going to put Curtis Samuel on IR, you're losing some speed. So why not get another guy that has that speed in Hamler, who's probably faster than Curtis Samuel? I think he is, actually. And I know he is right now, because Curtis Samuel has that injury to his turf toe or whatever. You need that addition. Like, now you're losing speed if you go that route. So I would definitely call up Hamler, put Curtis Samuel on the IR. That's the route I would go over Shavers, to be honest with you. I know Shavers had a good camp, but we need speed. We need somebody that can provide, be the gadget guy. And that is the perfect weapon, who's sitting right on our practice squad. Nothing wrong with him. Nothing. All right, let's go through some of your comments. Sorry if I'm missing out. Cam Boo, $11 million this year and $35 million 2 years after. I don't know what you're talking about. You talking about Devontae? Yeah. The Jets are. You don't want to talk about being desperate. Somebody said earlier, I think the Ravens for life. The fucking Jets are desperate. Okay, that is a desperate move, because I'm gonna tell you all right now, a lot of teams called about Davante Adams. It wasn't just the Jets and Bills. There was teams that were interested. Of course, Davante Adams. But they weren't going to eat that contract, guys. And the Jets go and lose to the Bills on Monday Night Football, and then go and just do a desperate move and are going to, once again, eat another contract like they're eating one currently with the edge they got. I forget his name, that is refusing to play for them, the one they traded for. If y'all can remember his name, put it in the chat. But this is what bad teams do. Cleveland Browns is another example. They go out, they spend all this money, they make big trades, and they don't go anywhere because they're poorly ran, and they make desperate moves. I don't feel like today was a desperate move for the Buffalo Bills. Today's move was a move that needed to be done, and it was a smart move financially. They're not spending a lot. They didn't give up a lot. If Amari Cooper winds up working out this year, they can always extend him to another 2-year deal, which would be fine, right? Depending on what the contract is. It's a win-win for the Buffalo Bills, and it needed to be done. Does that make sense to you guys? Are you all on the same page as me? If you're not, let me know. I get it. I'm all with you on that. Let's see. I'm going to scroll up to see if okay, so last night, Callie, there was one that he dropped, but it wasn't even a drop. It was a hell of a play by Reed. It was a beautiful play by Reed, actually. But Coleman, for the most part, he's been catching some very tough catches, and he's had a decent year. I'm saying he's not great or anything like that, but he's doing better than the guy that we actually traded down for, right? Worthy. So everyone's talking about, like, we gave up, we passed up on Worthy. We gave Chiefs this unbelievable player. He's doing better than Worthy right now in receiving yards. He has Worthy has 176. Coleman has 2-something. So I'm just saying, just throwing that out there. Now, could the Bills have drafted another receiver in that draft? Yes, they should have. Absolutely. Just to have another option at receiver, but they didn't. And that's on Brandon Beane, for sure. But today was a good day. It was a smart move. Michael, what do you see with Hamlin as a starter going forward? I don't like it. I don't think he's a star. I don't think he's a starting safety in the NFL. I think he's a good depth guy. I think he's a good fill-in guy. Like if obviously if a player gets hurt, come in for a game or two, I'm cool with that. But as a starting safety in the NFL, no, he don't do it for me. And he's been getting exposed over the last 3 weeks, really exposed. I think they drafted Cole Bishop for a reason, and I think the only reason you're probably not seeing him right now is because he's a rookie, and Sean McDermott doesn't typically start rookies. But I think in time, if Damar Hamlin keeps playing as poorly as he's been playing over the last 3 weeks, he has to make that change and put Cole Bishop in. That's my opinion. But will he? We'll see. We'll see. He's stubborn. Our coach is very stubborn. Surprised Edwards can't beat him out. Yeah, I don't get that. And Edwards was a scratch last night, which was really odd. So maybe Edwards is just not what they thought they were going to get out of him. Maybe he's not. So just that's another thing too. We don't see what the coaches are seeing in camp and in practice. So let me tell you something. If Hamlin's beating out Edwards and Bishop as well, that means Edwards is not that good right now. No, I don't. I do not trust Tyler Bass. I think Tyler Bass needs to go. But unfortunately, there's no real kicker out there right now, like a guy that can just come in and we could trust that will do the job. Unfortunately, there's no kicker out there. We brung in 2 kickers. That was more of a try to wake up Tyler Bass, say, hey, we're willing to move on, kind of, but they were terrible, right? They were never going to take Tyler Bass's job this year. But Sean McDermott talked about Tyler Bass after today, basically, and the reporters were asking about Tyler Bass, and he said, hey, he has to make those kicks. I don't give a fuck about the weather. And I am with that. Like, finally, Sean McDermott actually says something real. Yes, that is a fact. I don't give a shit how windy it is. I don't care if it's raining. I don't care if it's snowing. You are paid to kick a football in a goalpost. That's what you are paid to do. You're one fucking job. One job. And you got to execute. And not only that, you're getting paid good money. Right? It's not like Tyler Bass is a rookie. We drafted him. Okay, bad draft pick. It's not working out. Whatever. No. He's a kicker. We want top 5, right? Like, we top 5 money for a kicker. And he's way underperforming. I think after this year, they go ahead and move on from Tyler Bass, in my opinion. He's just not reliable. You telling me he can't learn a scheme? Who are you talking about? I'm not sure. What are you talking? Maybe you're talking with somebody in the chat. Yeah, or draft one. I don't care. However they do, they need to get a new kicker in place. That's it. Plain and simple. They need a new kicker. There's no other way around it. Tyler Bass is just not reliable, and I would not trust Tyler Bass in a game where it comes down to a kick. I don't even know. I don't even care how far the kick is. It could be a 30, 25, 30 yard kick, and I'm gonna be sweating bullets while Tyler Bass is out there getting ready to make the field goal or try to attempt to make a field goal. I would be stressing the fuck out because I have zero faith right now in Tyler Bass. He's missing extra points because by the way, you could say it's been blocked. It's blocked, not his fault. It is. Because kickers know there's a way to kick the ball low and high. Clearly, something's going on with Tyler Bass. Clearly. And yeah, last night the other kicker missed some field goals too, but God, he was a little closer. At least he hit the fucking goalpost. Tyler Bass, not even close. Way off. And when Tyler Bass misses, by the way, he misses bad. He misses real bad. So, no, I do not trust Tyler Bass at all. Let's see here if I'm missing any other. Is Amari better than Devontae? Truthfully, probably not. Okay. But is he better than? But is it a better situation for the Buffalo Bills right now, not having to eat a shit ton of money? Yeah. Can Cooper come in and be better than what we have currently? Yeah. You know, the Bills are paying him under $1 million. I think 800,000 or something like that salary. Like, that's nothing. That is absolutely nothing. So it's a win-win. It's a win-win for the Buffalo Bills. Like, we didn't give up a lot. We got a player that could come in and help this offense. I'm good with it. You know, look, I wouldn't have hated the Adams deal, but I also would have hated us having to eat all that money, because I was willing to take on Adams if the Raiders were willing to eat some of the contract. But the Raiders were not going to budge. So the Bills made the right decision. I'm just glad they made a decision, to be honest with you. Because I did a video just, 2 hours ago, after the Adams deal got done, saying he needs to make a deal. I don't care who it is out of the players I named, but he has to bring in a player in here. He has to. If he really believes that this team can do anything this season, he has to bring in a player to help Josh Allen and this offense out. And I think Brandon Beane understood that. Brandon Beane watches these games just like we do. He's the GM. He's at these games. He's not blind. He understands what he's seeing on the field, and it's not good. And today was a smart move by Brandon Beane. And I was nervous he was going to stay the course. I was nervous he was going to stay on Safe Street, right? Him and McDermott driving on Safe Street. Oh, I don't want to go outside. Oh, whoa, we're out of Safe Street. Oh, like, you know, like, as a GM, as a head coach, sometimes you gotta go outside Safe Street. Sometimes you gotta take a little detour, and you gotta take chances, and that's what good GMs do, right? The bad ones are the ones that are going crazy, shopping spree, making these unbelievable trades, and hiring back coaches. And I get that part, right? The team's folding, they're way over the salary cap, but you also, at the same time, you can't be a stickler. And you can't just rely on the draft year after year after year and sign thrift store free agents every year and just hope you get, lucky in the draft. Like, in time, you have to make some type of bold moves, and you got to make a trade here and there to better your football team. That's the way it works, right? That's all I'm saying. And today, Brandon Beane finally made a move that made sense, right? He made the move for Diggs years ago in 2020. It made sense. It made sense at that time. Of course, now we can all go back and be like, oh, could have got Justin Jefferson. But I don't know if they thought Justin Jefferson would be even available, because he's slid, right? So I'm just throwing that out there as well. And at that moment and at that time, Josh Allen needed a reliable receiver, a veteran receiver. Stephon Diggs was a veteran at that time. And he needed that reliable target. And he got it. And we did really, really good while Stephon Diggs was here. Until Stephon Diggs didn't want to be here. And we shipped him off. And I'm cool with that as well. If you don't want to be here, get the hell out of here. And I'm glad that Brandon Beane went ahead and made that deal happen. Because if your heart's not in it, then you got to go. But at the same time, he went thrift store shopping. And he got Mac Hollins. And he got MBS. And Curtis Samuel, I'm not hating on that signing, but it's not working out right now. And he traded down to get Keon Coleman, which I'm cool with, because I wasn't sold on Worthy. But I was thinking he's going to at least draft another receiver in the draft. There were a lot available, and he chose not to. That disappointed me. And I felt like he was just caught up in the everybody eats. Joe Brady can make it work. We got Josh Allen, and it failed. It's failing. And, I think he was also relying on Khalil Shakir to have this big impact, Dalton Kincaid to have this big second-year impact. And the problem is Khalil Shakir is a good number 2. Not a number 1. Good number 2. And he got hurt. Right? A high ankle sprain. And that's a problem. And Dalton Kincaid, for whatever reason, isn't getting going this year. And that could be Joe Brady's scheme. I don't know. But either way, it doesn't matter. Right now, Dalton Kincaid isn't the guy we thought he'd be year two. And I don't know if that's so much on Dalton Kincaid. I think it's probably more so on Joe Brady, for sure. But either way, this is where we're at. And I think he realized that finally. I think he finally woke the fuck up and made the deal. And here it is. Yeah, I think it's Von Miller's last year. And I will say this, Callie, credit to Von Miller. He did restructure his contract to be more incentive-based this year. And let's be honest, Von Miller was actually having a good start to the year. Through 4 games, he had 3 sacks. I mean, that's good. That's what we wanted. He was on pace to have 8 to 10 sacks probably for the year. But I kind of saw this NFL thing happening with them suspending him. I didn't know 4 games. I thought they gave him 2. But it is what it is. It is what it is. But we will have Von Miller back soon. AJ Epinesa last night, by the way, stepped up. I was really disappointed on how he was playing up until last night. But last night he really, he took that step forward. So that makes me happy. Finally, a guy who's starting to earn the contract that he was given. But there's a lot of guys on this team right now that aren't earning their contract, right? And that's what you want to talk about, salary cap. It's the guys that are underperforming their. Hey, sorry about that. My power got cut out. My power got cut off real quick. I am back. I apologize for that. And I think I lost all my viewers. So hopefully you guys come back to the to the stream. I apologize. It wasn't my fault. The electric just I don't know. I have no idea what happened there, but the electric went off real quick and it is back on. So not sure if you guys are with me still, but I will continue to talk about signing. So guys, are you still with me? No, it's not my internet bill. My power went out. My power went out real quick. Roy, apologize about that. I hope you guys are all still with me. So let's continue on with where I was saying. So we have a lot of underperforming players. We have a lot of underperforming players right now, underperforming on their contracts. And these guys need to start earning their contracts again. And, when they do, if they do, you'll see the turnaround on this team. But there's a reason why we're, are in a little salary cap, not nightmare, but where we can't go ahead and pay some free agents that are available. No, it's definitely power outage, or else I wanted to pay. It's impossible to pay an internet bill that quick. But no, my power went out real quick, but I am back. So I apologize about that. But I am back. So anyways, guys, I wasn't even gonna be planning on staying on here that long. I just wanted to kind of break the news. I was gonna do a video, but then I decided, you know what, I'll be back. I'll go live actually. Let's see here. Jaguars fan here. Will the Bills take back Gabe Davis for a ham sandwich? No. they will not take Gabe Davis back for a ham sandwich. Though I like Gabe Davis, I thought the value we got back from him for being a 4th-round pick, I thought Gabe Davis was fine. Like, I know a lot of Bills Mafia were disappointed in Gabe Davis, but let's be real. Gabe Davis was a 4th-round draft pick. There's nobody in their right mind, and you'd be lying to yourself, that when we drafted Gabe Davis, 4th round, that we saw a number 1 receiver in Gabe Davis, that he would even get 800 yards, right? Like, nobody. Come on, stop. You're lying. I thought Gabe Davis did just fine. He had back-to-back seasons with a little over 800 yards. He just wasn't consistent. He had games where he would have 150 yards, and then the next 2 games he'd have nothing. Right? And then you have another game where you have 175, and then he goes silent for the next 2 or 3 games. Like, Gabe Davis was up and down as a player, and he just wasn't consistent enough. And that's why the Bills, to be honest with you, that's why the Bills did not re-sign him when his deal was up. So, yeah, I know he's having a tough time in Jacksonville, but you know, it is what it is, man. Sometimes so there's bad signings, you know, like all around. It happens, man. Clowns are officially in tank mode. Who you talking about? Who's in tank mode? I'm not sure who you're talking about. Not us. Are you talking about us? We're in tank mode? I don't think we're in tank mode. Why would we be in tank mode? Let me see if now Micah Hyde, that is you know what? I almost forgot about Micah Hyde. That is a great, I'm glad you brought that up. Very possible. Very possible they could, you know, towards the tail end of the season, maybe for a playoff push, bring him back. But you got to remember, at the same time, if they bring him back that late, I would assume he's going to be rusty as hell, right? Because he's not in football shape right now. There's no way in hell he's in football shape. Unless he's secretly working out with the team, which I highly doubt, right? Because I'm pretty sure it's against the rules. It's possible, but at the same time, bringing back a guy that's been sitting on the couch would be, I don't know. I don't know how that will work. Would he be better than Hamlin? Maybe, but I don't know how much I would trust him because he hasn't played all year. He didn't do anything. No training camp, no nothing. He's retired. He's almost retired. I mean, he hasn't officially said he's retired, but he's gonna retire. So I don't know if at this, he would put it this way. They'd have to bring him back a little early, let him play, let him kind of, you know, sprinkle him in some games, get his feet wet again, get the football flow going again, until they give him the starting nod. Like, that's the only way I can see it happening. Oh, the Cleveland Clowns, yeah, they are tanking. Yeah, they are. But they have to. The Cleveland Browns, let me tell you, they have made some terrible moves through the years. And you know who else has made some terrible moves? The New Jersey Jets. The New Jersey, hey, Jets, Jets. That stupid ass fucking, get the hell out of here with that. The Jets are a nightmare of a team. Like they always have some issues going on, right? They always got some issues going on. Same with the Browns. They're dysfunctional. Their owner is a joke. By the way, Bill Belichick last night called him out on Monday Night Football. So you know damn well Bill Belichick ain't going to no damn New Jersey Jets. He ain't coaching there. So any Jets fans that thought they had any chance that Bill Belichick would go and coach the Jets next year, well, he just told you what he thinks about your owner. It ain't happening. It ain't happening. If he's going anywhere, honestly, I could see him going to either 2 teams, the Giants or the Dolphins. That's the only 2 teams I can see Belichick going for. I could be wrong, but he ain't going to the Jets. That I'm sure about. Yo, Jason, what up, man? What up? Hey, once again, man, sorry about earlier. My electric went out for real quick and then it came back on. And I appreciate you guys sticking around with me on this live. Redskins and Lions playing good. Absolutely, they are. Redskins gave them a fight. They gave Baltimore a fight, but at the end, Baltimore's just too much. But I like their quarterback. I think they have a lot of fight in them. We'll see how far it takes them. Crafty, Belichick should have written his complaints on a napkin again. Now get Crosby and we're good. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it depends. Are the Raiders shopping all their players? It's possible. If they are, it'd be interesting. That'd be an interesting move for the Buffalo Bills. But I don't know. I'll be honest with you. I don't know the contract on Crosby. I have to see. And his heart is Raiders, man. Max Crosby, if you don't know, that dude loves the Raiders. Right? I think he even has like a tattoo of the Raiders on him. Like he absolutely loves them. So I don't know if they ship him off. But right now, anything's possible. With these teams, like certain teams that are just having these bad seasons, dumpster fire teams, maybe. I remember, look, everybody shocked Khalil Mack got moved. And he did. He got traded. So is it possible? Sure. Max Crosby could be traded. I just don't. I gotta look into his contract to see if it's even possible. Roy, come on, Tommy. My work day is over. I'm sitting in my car watching instead of driving home. Let's wrap it up. You want me to do my? All right. You know what? Because I feel bad. I also have to take a nap. Right. So let me see if I have that.
You better wrap it up.
Right, Roy?
You better wrap it up.
All right, so yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up because I got work tonight, man. If y'all don't know, I'm a bouncer. I work 3 nights a week, and I gotta go babysit a lot of adults tonight. Yes, babysit adults. That's what I do for a living. I throw you drunk adults out of my bar 3 nights a week. So I gotta take my nap. I gotta get prepared to do the dirty work at the bar. So once again, guys, Amari Cooper traded to the Buffalo Bills. I'm good with it. I hope you guys are good with it. I hope you guys got my point of view on the trade and why I think it's an excellent trade for the Buffalo Bills. A win-win, trust me. Will more trades happen before the trade deadline? Maybe. Bean is taking that detour off Safe Street, and he's still on that phone. Maybe. Very possible. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate all of y'all rocking with me. Sorry about I had a couple issues today. Sorry about the video I made earlier. I forgot to plug my Ethernet in. It was choppy. And I'm sorry that the power got cut off, but that's not in my control. So anyways, guys, I love you. Bills Mafia, you guys rule. Cali Blitz, you're the man. Roy, you're the man. Everybody that came today and joined me on this live is the man or the lady. Ladies, I'm not forgetting about y'all. Thank you so much for joining me once again. And we will be back live Wednesday. Well, actually, Mafia Talk will be live Wednesday at 8 o'clock. And then me and Mikey return Friday Night Lights at 9 p.m. You don't want to miss that. So until then, I'm out of here. Bills Mafia, you rule. Go Bills. I'm out of here. Peace.